Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of Midnight Journaling, which is a series that I'm doing where I just turn on the camera while I update all of my planners at the end of the day, and then I will just talk about random stuff. So before I dive into today's topic, I will quickly just tell you what I'm doing. Currently, I'm filling out my Hobonichi weeks, and I was running out of ink in my fountain pen, so I just quickly filled that up. And my Hobonichi weeks is just my personal planner, so I'm writing down all of the personal things that happened during the day. So in today's episode, I will be talking about mental health and just my general thoughts about it. I think it's no secret that I struggle a lot, and for some reason just February, March, and the beginning of April has been so difficult for me. But I'm so happy to report that today it's actually day 4 in a row of not having some sort of mental health spiral or breakdown or episode of any sort. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but prior to this 4 consecutive days, I couldn't go 2 days, maximum 2 days, without having some sort of episode. And it was getting a little bit concerning. This is also why I just haven't really been doing new releases. I haven't been doing too many like over-the-top fun content just because I don't have the mental energy to do so. But yeah, it's day 4 and I'm feeling so hopeful that I can just keep going, and hopefully one day I will just stop counting the number of days. Anyways, I kind of wanted to talk about my experience, but also give some reassurance to anyone out there who might be experiencing similar things, and also just for people who don't experience mental health battles on a daily basis. Hopefully this gives some sort of insight into what it's like, but obviously I'm just one person, and I don't specialize in mental health or anything, so this is very largely based on my experience. But I think for me, one of the most, frustrating part about dealing with diagnosed depression and anxiety is the fact that I don't feel like I can ever reach my potential. There are so many things that I want to do, both short-term and long-term. So like on a daily basis, I might have some things that I want to do, and also long-term goals, like I want to go to graduate school, I want to travel, etc. I just feel like my mental health really hinders me from achieving those things, and I can never fully reach my potential, because this could be because I'm physically tired, it could be because I'm mentally tired, it could also be because some inner dialogue tells me that you can never achieve those things, or you don't deserve those things, etc. So I think that's one of my personal most frustrating parts, especially evident on a day-to-day basis. Like I want to be able to read every day. I want to be able to do some personal art outside of, designing for the shop, but sometimes I'm just physically way too tired, and other times I start doing these hobbies, engaging in my hobbies, and then my brain tells me like, you're wasting your time and shouldn't you be worried about X, Y, and Z, etc. I guess I'm sharing this in case anyone else feels the same way. You are definitely not alone. I don't know why I don't like this phrase. I feel like it's so cheesy, but it's true. And I think when I talk about being mentally tired, it might be a little bit confusing to people who don't go through the same thing. But at least for me, I get mentally tired for several reasons. One reason is because I worry about absolutely everything and anything. Now, anxiety isn't just about like worrying about little things or stressed about little things, although like everybody experiences some form of anxiety where you do get worried and stressed, but I'm referring more to like diagnosed anxiety disorder. Basically it's just persistent dread and stress and worry all day long. For me, this manifests in worrying about how other people perceive me, as well as worrying about my loved ones very irrationally. An example would be if somebody I care about has someone that they care about, I start worrying about that person that they care about. Does that make sense? So it's like one person removed, and it is just incredibly irrational, but these thoughts just like play in my head all day long. And the second part of my anxiety is within just like my own brain. It's like a constant argument with myself all day long. And because it's an argument with myself within my own brain, you can never win. So with these two things like happening 24/7, likely when I sleep as well, when it's especially bad, this is when I can get mentally exhausted and I just don't have the energy to, for example, read or learn something new. It just doesn't retain. I also happen to have a third mental illness, which is just awesome. As you can see, I like to joke around a lot. But yeah, anyways, I'm not ready to talk about that one just yet, but maybe in the future. So as for quote-unquote solutions, which I personally do not have because I'm still struggling, there's, the obvious ones of going to therapy, which might not be a resource that is available to everyone. So a few things that have really helped me at least make it through these past 4 consecutive days was to ensure that I'm eating very well, just eating adequate amounts of food that makes me feel good, drinking lots of water, light exercise, and also like forcing myself to tidy around my work area. Again, I'm not delusional. These are not long-term solutions to, chronic depression or chronic anxiety, but they're just like little things that I have been really trying to do, and I attribute my current streak of 4 good days to just like doing these things and really taking care of myself. We still have a little bit of time left, so I will just quickly talk about what I did. After filling in my Hobonichi weeks, I then quickly filled in my bullet journal. I'm currently keeping a tracker of my design process for the monthly kits. I'm actually almost done. I just have to do the regular monthly kits now. And then after that, I filled in the weekly section of my Hobonichi weeks. For this week, I'm doing something a little bit different. Instead of doing my usual time blocking and scheduling, I decided to do a very loose time blocking where I kind of journal more about that part of my day, if that makes any sense. And of course, I'm using stickers and also my Pilot Decimo fountain pen. That's the other thing. I find that writing with my fountain pens really makes me happy. So yeah, this week I have been just using fountain pens a lot, and it has been a true pleasure. But yeah, I'm really liking this journaling layout because it puts less pressure on myself to stick to my pre-planned schedule. And I only did it for this week just because, again, I'm really trying to aim for several consecutive good days. But I think I'm going to go back to time blocking next week or next week. And then after that, I am working on the daily section of my Hobonichi cousin, just my usual layout, nothing too special. And yeah, I think that's about it. I know this was a rather raw and personal segment and a little bit of a downer, so for my next Midnight Journaling episode 3, I will try to talk about something a little bit happier. So yeah, I will see you next week. Bye!